All right, y'all. Game's over.
Come on, set it up, E.
You know, the obscure Instagram posts are done.
Take your time.
The clothes are ironed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
The shoes are fresh.
Come on.
Just like the socks and drawers.
Come on.
Everybody's ready for an evening with Silk Sonic, and we have Anderson Paak and Bruno Mars.
Let's go.
What's going on, baby?
Look like money.
Listen, I gotta be honest. There was a lot of people that wanted to sit down. And very rarely do I say, yo, check this out, fam. This is mine.
Right.
This is one of those. I'm doing this.
That's right.
Man, thank you.
I went out and got a stylist. I bought some new clothes. You know what I'm saying? I had to
Put
be
together well today.
You know what I'm saying? We had to have the whole look, the whole energy.
Yeah.
Now this room is special.
Yeah.
Tell us why, Bruno.
This is me and Andy. We shot Leave the Door Open in this room. This is our first video together. We're both nervous because we had this special song. We didn't want to mess it up with the visuals, which could easily happen. And the night before, we were trying to figure out what we were going to do, right?
Yeah.
And we were like, we just got to sit our down and sing the song.
We had dance routines and all that.
We were thinking, yeah.
Turns out we should never stand up.
No.
Right, because that video's perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I think, you know, it caught the essence of me and Andy in the studio.
Right.
And, you know, in a fantasy world of like, if we could take it in one take like that, hopefully that's what it would look like.
This entire project is, and I'm glad you said fantasy world, because for me as a fan of both of you, independently as artists, the moment I saw the graphic of your two faces together, I was I was ecstatic for you and for you. Cause I, you know, I'm just now getting to know you, Bruno, but I've known you for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
But your trajectories, where it's meeting now is almost perfect for music. Because, you know, Anderson, you come from the underground scene, you know, just, you know, connecting and collaborating with so many people. Bruno, you come from this immaculate songwriting, super hit world that you've existed in, and y'all have come together and created this necessary moment in music, right? And the reason I say that is because we're living in a time right now where it's almost as if, you know, you're not supposed to be playing live instruments or something, or you're not supposed to be creating an aesthetic that is Black music and family and party and, you know, all of the things that we're getting on this album. Bruno, is that what you mean when you said for Leave the Door Open video, we don't want to mess this up? Because it's such an important piece of work.
Yeah, and, you know, for multiple reasons, we don't want to mess it up. I don't think Andy and his career wants to mess anything up.
We need this to work.
We needed it to work.
A lot of money spent, budget's blown, Jack.
We just wanted it to feel like, feel special.
Right.
And instead of trying to get too cute with a concept, it's like, man, what's more special than Anderson Paak behind a drum set singing a song?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and me having his back when it's my turn.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and the band moving in the same direction, and it's like a musician's dream. You know, being in a studio and record a song like that.
Anderson, you've been making soulful, you know, amazing records for a long time. Talk about this moment, though, making these 9 moments on this project.
It was big for me. Like, I was just trying to just take it all in, just live in the moment. Like, being in the studio with them, it's like I collabed with everybody, you know? I don't know, not one person, old, young, that everybody on my checklist I've already checked, and I've done all kinds of stuff, and, you know, have records that got Grammys and stuff, but there's always like a place that an artist wants to go, and I wanted to go straight to the top, Jack. And there's a cheat code, you know what I'm saying? And everybody told me there's one cheat code is linking up with this dude. So they get Bruno on your side. And it's just dope. It couldn't happen unless it was organic and natural. And every day we get in the studio, it was a blast. It was just jokes. Some days we didn't even make no music. We just laugh all day, talk shit. And gamble.
So that's why this shit took so long.
Yeah. We was having too much fun, man.
Yeah.
And I tell him all the time, I got a lot of trust in him, and that felt good too. I felt like a large part of my career. I've done collabs and everything, but it felt good to be able to trust the dude to be like, nah, do it, try it like this. Great vocal producer, one of the greatest vocalists I've ever worked with, and just pushing me to a different level. And
Thanks,
I'm
Andy.
glad you're saying that, because I don't think people know. I mean, they know Bruno as a songwriter and obviously an amazing performer and an amazing vocalist, but you just said a vocal producer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Tell me more about that.
Well, he likes to push me to my limit until he hears something pop. I had to stop smoking. And I'll probably never be the same after this. I'm hitting a lot of notes that I shouldn't be hitting. We didn't think we was going to have to pull this off live because it was a pandemic. But we got through it, and when I hear it, I'm just like, damn.
And Andy being humble, because there are definitely moments in the studio where he was pushing me to, and I think that's what a good collaboration is, all right, I'm gonna push you to, do something you've never done before, and you got to do the same.
Right.
And Andy, telling me, try this note, and I think that's why, we didn't plan it like that. It was just organic. It felt organic. That's why the video was supposed to be organic. Everything that fell into place happened naturally, and it wasn't like a record label plan or thought, oh, we're gonna hit this lick if we do this song. It was just like, yo, this is too fun. This is honest. Like, we want to be here and record this stuff and write this stuff. Let's just keep going.
Like many things that are, I guess, it's weird to call this outside the box for me, right? Because this is, for me, this is essential music, right? Like this stylistically, shout out to the stylistics, but stylistically, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes and that Philly sound and that soul, there's so much in here that you guys pulled from and that you've always pulled from as artists. But was there any hesitation from anyone, as you guys were like, yo, this is where we're going? Because I'm sure everybody acts like they're on the page right now, right? Because the click-clacking is working and everybody's having a good time. But I'm sure when they first heard some of the sonics and the places you were going, since it's unlike other things that are going on, was there any hesitation around you? Was there anybody that doubted?
Yeah, leave the door open. They didn't know. Radio.
Yes,
You're in the business of radio. We want to up tempo, give the kids something to dance to. This TikTok thing's blowing up.
Yeah,
And me and Andy come from this school of performing and playing live instruments, and all the groups you've mentioned with the orchestras and harmonies and stuff. When we wrote that song, it was one of those songs. It's like, damn, I can't believe we're a part of this. And we don't know what it's gonna do. We don't care that it's a ballad or a mid or whatever you want to call it. To us, this just feels right, and it's important to us. So no matter what, if it did what it did and hit #1 or it didn't, me and Andy both know that was the best we could do, and we were cool with that.
Right. You got the intro. Leave the door open. Who sequenced? Who decided this order, or did the order decide itself based on, and what happened first? Bruno, what was the first sound or sounds that you guys, and are any of those even here on this album?
Smoking Out the Window was first.
Right.
Smoking Out the Window came first. It was an idea we started
like 4 or 5 years
ago. 4 or 5 years ago on tour. It doesn't sound nothing like it does now, but we just had this Smoking Out the Window idea. And on his birthday, I called him over. I said, yo, I want to finish that song. And he said, I'm drunk. He said, I'm drunk. What do you mean? I'm like, come on. And he shows up. He wasn't lying. But he was hysterical. He was hysterical that night. You should have seen him. After every take, he'd be like, I'm the king of R&B. I'm the best. Tell me I ain't the hottest in the game.
Tell Bruno to call me.
Tell me I ain't the hottest in the game.
I need an exclusive.
So we're dying, going back and forth with the lines and who can make it, who can make who laugh. And we end up finishing that song, and he's like, all right, I'm out. What we doing tomorrow? I said, come on. So we just started building from there. And we started putting together songs. Then Leave the Door Open came up on us. And we started talking about just having this fantasy set list because we're in the middle of a pandemic now. I'm sorry, I missed that part. That's a big part. All of a sudden, my shows get canceled. Andy's shows get canceled. This fear of we'll never be able to play live again comes into play. And you take that away from guys like us, that's all we know. So we kind of don't know what to do. So we're thinking, all right, well, let's put an album together that sounds like a show and feels like a show. And if we could have the dream set list, who would host it? Mm-hmm. And that's where Bootsy comes in. So, all right, we got to give him an intro. How we're going to end it. Let's give him blast off and, take flight.
And for people who don't know and maybe have never done the math, the science on who Bootsy Collins is,
right?
He's an important bass player and figure and persona in everything that we love, from James Brown all the way to Snoop Dogg.
Right.
You know what I mean? And now this. But I don't know if people have gone into his albums and just the world that he created. Is that why you guys chose him?
Absolutely. That's like one of the first superheroes and examples of what a superstar should be. Without him, you don't get us, you don't get Snoop, you don't get a lot of things. And I think it was important for him to like host it and to really like put the stamp on it. Gave us our name, just kind of kept us like.
Wait, Silk Sonic was?
Yeah.
That's tight.
He was handing out names, Jack.
That's tight.
Yeah, man. And he was really just that glue, that we needed. And like.
And I mean, he got that iconic voice.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, that's his voice. And like he said, he's like a funk superhero.
Yeah.
And like you said, from James Brown, playing bass to James Brown to all the way up to Snoop Dogg, and you could hear his influence everywhere.
Right. Fly is me. So after the door gets left open.
Come on, Andy.
You know what I'm saying? And fillets and bubble baths and things happened. Moments were made.
I'm in that thing.
You know what I'm saying? Take us into Fly is Me.
Yeah, Fly is Me is another joint like hook he had for a minute. He was trying to figure out some verses for it and trying to figure out the groove. And we spent some time on that, like trying to.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time on that. And then Andy one day goes behind the drum set. He said, groove got to be like this. And he starts playing this groove. And me and D-Miles on the bass, I'm on the guitar.
Shout out to D-Miles.
Shout out to D-Miles.
Love that guy.
Yeah, and after all the grooves we tried, I don't know what it is, something about that. Something about when someone says in the studio, someone that you trust said, nah, it's got to be like this.
Boom.
It's always that. Always. Because, Andy didn't walk in like that.
Right.
Andy wasn't like, yo, try this, but it's when you, like, nah, it got to be like this.
It has to.
It has to be. And the groove you hear him playing, which is not an easy groove to play, that was what he showed me and D. And we just followed suit. And we came up with this little lick.
Yeah.
And started going.
Fly is me.
Fly is me. Yeah. I give him a little shine on that joint.
Now.
That's the jibs.
Now.
You gotta zoom in on the jibs.
The jibs.
You see? That's where the money is.
The jibs. Yeah. That is the money.
That's the money.
That's the money. Listen,
Ebro, we could talk about this all day, right? But that joint.
Talk about that.
It's hot in here now.
See?
That's a hot joint. That's a fire joint. I need you to run that shit.
See, when I met him, he didn't carry a fan like that.
You gotta really play that joint, like back to back.
I just want to make the announcement, make it official for everybody out there that's known Anderson Paak a long time. He's changed.
I'm different, y'all. Stop guessing. Stop. It's not really.
Yeah.
It's no question.
So, you said on Fly is Me, Bruno, that groove that Anderson's playing is very hard to play. I also heard early in the convo, you're vocally pushing him to places that he's never been before.
Damn right.
But now y'all got to do this live.
Yeah, about
Says
that.
who? Terms ain't locked.
Terms ain't locked yet, Ebro. We ain't got to do nothing.
First half ain't in
Coach
yet.
still running rampant. Nah, yeah, I guess we do gotta figure it out.
All right, now, seriously though, like an evening with Silk Sonic,
Yeah.
people going shopping for this. This is gonna be one of those things.
It's just like everything, though. Every album he's done, I've done. You're in the studio life for a long time, and that's kind of all you know. And we've been in the studio for over a year just putting this together. So it's like a shock to us coming outside of our four walls. And once it comes down to live, and it's like, all right, now we're about to be in live mode. Then we got to flip that switch. It's a different switch.
Got it.
So coming up with ways how to make it better live is, the new thing now.
And now for both of y'all, where y'all come from, right? Like your original passion in this game is performance.
Yep.
For both of y'all, right? Like that's, I mean, as a young kid, you was rocking.
Yep.
You've been rocking drums and just, you love being out there and doing it. Are you excited to get back outside with this project? Like, real talk, I know we bullshitting, but real talk.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's fun. Even the little stuff that we've done, these award shows, anytime we gotta like get some arrangements, I think naturally we're both like MDs. We both come from like doing shows in dive bars and having like cover bands and trying to swoon the girls and play. And
Fighting over the girls in the front row.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Showing out, showing off, trying to overdo it. And it's just, I think that's just in our blood, and these songs are perfect for that stuff.
Yeah, man. After last night, so the door got left open, you was feeling real fly. After
I'm in the yams, dog. I'm in the yams.
and so now, after last night, take us into this record, man.
After last night, that one really, got a lot of Bootsy on it.
Yeah.
And my boy Thundercat came in and blessed us. So that's
On the bass, that's Thundercat on the bass.
Yes, and 3-part harmony. That whole song, the verses are in 3-part harmony. The
we
hooks in
singing
3-part
together.
harmony. It's me, Andy,
T-Cat.
and T-Cat.
Wow.
Just one of them songs. Like, everything was built to be played live.
Yeah.
So that song is like one of those ones we can keep going for like 10 minutes.
Right. Reprise that shit.
Reprise. After last
Go into another song, reprise it back.
Yeah. Bring it back.
I really love track 6. Put on a Smile. Tell me about this song, and the lyrics. Like, walk me through the lyrics in the song, because the lyrics are important.
This was actually me and Andy. I had a song, Put on a Smile, that I played for Andy. I was like, what do you think about this? He said, it sucks. Right? And
Trash.
It's trash.
Doc.
And I start singing it again. He gets behind the drums, did it again. He did it again. He goes, I said, I'm put on a smile. He goes, put on a smile. And that's when the magic happens.
Yeah.
So we come up with this hook and these chords. I play for D Mile. Now we start cooking. That's when everything starts moving in the studio. The song's starting to sound real good now. That I'm scared I don't want to mess it up. So I call Babyface. Ooh. Yeah, I said, Babyface, come to the studio. You got to hear this. Babyface comes down to the studio, meets Andy.
Ricky
Andy's
Regal,
drunk again, right?
head to toe. I was a little tipsy.
And Babyface goes, and we're working on the bridge. And he goes, you got to take it up right here. I'm like, what you mean? He said, you got to modulate. Like, modulate? Like, key change? We already singing high. Andy he really about to blow up.
It was a vein.
He goes, yeah, you got to take it up right here. And, came through like a doctor. And I only call Face if I know I got something good. I don't want to play myself because he'll tell me too, like,
right.
This is whack. And, for all of us to finish that record together was like one of my favorite experiences on this album. Because we was all there at the end of the night, Face, Andy, D-Mile, and myself. Like, we did it. Mm-hmm. And it's the answer to Smoking Out the Window. Smoking Out the Window is me and Andy talking.
That's right.
Like being emotional, giving you high, top shelf R&B drama. But in Put on a Smile, it's kind of like, all right, this is how, and Bootsy says it in the beginning, so tell her how you really feel. Mm-hmm. And then we get into that record.
You guys, Bruno, you were talking about Babyface. Like, I don't know if the regular person knows that Bruno Mars and Babyface.
No, they gotta know him.
No, I mean, they don't know that. They know him and they know you, but they don't know that y'all
No,
Right.
man, that's why.
Or on a phone, like Bruno be like, "Yo, let me call one of the greatest songwriters in
Yeah,
history and
right.
see if, he's fucking with I just wrote."
That's like the mentor, man. You know,
OG's on deck.
yeah. Well, he still got it.
Of course.
You know, he's like a sniper in the studio. It's spooky to watch. You know, he starts thinking, and he's all about feeling. And if it ain't giving you that emotion, then Babyface ain't got nothing to do with it. You know, so he's all about making sure that he always tells me got to have some love in it. You know, whether it's a breakup song or a love song, a dance song, whatever it is, it's just got to have some love in it. So he's in a constant search for that. And that's what he taught me. That's what I've learned being in the studio with him.
I'm sure there's a young songwriter, young musicians, hopefully watching and learning from this conversation. Start with you, Anderson, as a songwriter, and is your method very different in coming up with things and writing songs than Bruno? Like, how different is that? And not that one's right or wrong, but
Right.
just for people out there that might be like, yo, these are two of the greats right here. I want to.
Right. I think, not taking away from anything from Bruno, but I think myself, I can probably get more lost in the whole process and the whole trying to find the groove and just not really thinking about too much about like the math and all that stuff. And I can kind of like just lose myself in that. But when I'm producing and working, and so that means that the song could probably, I could work on a song for an hour or two, and then I want to jump off to the next one, work on this one, touch on this one, and I like to kind of keep a variety because I can get really, working on one song, I can get bored and, fall out of love with it. I would think that was probably the biggest difference. I think we're both like perfectionists, but I think for him, he has no problem just sitting with one song.
Beating the song to death. So everybody hate me.
For numerous sessions. And then not only that, continuously asking you, what do you think? Is it good? I don't know, Bruno. It's been 2 years.
It's been 2 years, dog. I
We've
want to
been
go
working
home.
on this verse. I want off this right. But he got it, he got that. I always tell him I gotta commend you, I mean, I'm sick of this. I can't hear this anymore. And he just has this high threshold to like get it right, and he's searching for something. And the whole team is like really, sometimes we just gotta rally behind him and like, all right, let's do this. And like, let's just find it. If he's still at it, we ain't got no excuse. So I think that's the biggest difference.
And how did you get that? What he's talking about, how did you develop that, whatever that it's called? I don't know what it's called.
I don't know what it's called either. Anderson is so talented that, like all the guys that are around me, Dean Mile, Brody Brown, James Fauntleroy, all these guys, we can all go in the studio and make some vibes, like make a vibe, but we're trying to make something that lasts the test of time. Yeah, that's what I want to be a part of. And that's just, sometimes you get lucky and you go into the studio on the right night, it's the right time, everybody's on 10, and these things happen in an hour or two. I've had success with songs, that took 2 hours to write. And I've had success with songs that took me 2 years to write. And it's just like, there's this feeling that I'm searching for, just like with Leave the Door Open. And a lot of the records on this album, it's like, I can't believe I'm a part of this. And that's what I meant when I told, and Andy pushed me to do that. So many times Andy said, the groove got to be like this, do this, the background should do this, And then once he started talking, he got this like natural grit in his voice. He ain't even got to try. It's just, he's got it. And for a songwriter,
He's lived a life.
Yeah, he's lived a life.
It's in the vocal cords.
You don't know the things he's seen. And, but for a songwriter, you hearing like an instrument every time he talk, every time he laugh. And he's, so like going back and forth with him, it starts inspiring things and opening my mind up. Like I said, back to this thing, it's just like, I just know that there's this place where songs get to where everybody's floating in the room, where it's unanimous. So a lot of times when we argue in the studio, we're just arguing for nothing.
That's right.
Because nobody had nothing to say when we finished Leave the Door Open. But if we're in the studio and I'm like, Andy, I don't know if I like this, man. And he's like, no, this is good. Or if he's like, Bruno, it sucks. I'm like, no, this is good. That means it ain't right. Yeah. It's when it's unanimous. Like, can you believe this? Andy, I didn't know you could hit that note, or you know what I mean. That's when it's like, all right, nobody move. We're gonna put this one out.
For you, throughout the years of us loving your music and loving the words you put, you know, and your vocals in music, watching you talk about that process, I could tell it's emotional. Like it's
been an emotional ride, bro.
you know, but I'm saying, but you know, for us as fans, I don't know if we, you know, I want people in this moment, right, to take stock in that, right, like to appreciate how much effort it takes to find the place you're talking about, whether it happens in 2 hours or, like you said, 2 years, right? Like,
yeah, that's the torture, and for me, that's what I put myself through. It's like, I know we got something, and come on, Andy, we just got to do it again. We got to do it again. We got to try this, we got to try that, and you're just waiting for. It's not on your time,
right?
You know, it's not on your time. You got to know that it's gonna happen when it happens, and it's gonna be unanimous. Everybody in the room, no one's gonna be fighting.
Torture is a great word, right?
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. That's the.
And I'm sure it's scary to some degree, right? Waiting for as you know, like I'm thinking about how frequently or infrequently you put out music, but I'm sure in some regard that's a little scary, right? Or working with him for 5 years on this,
Right.
right? In a way, I mean, there's got to be days and weeks that go by. You're like, bro, I don't know if this is gonna happen. Like, are we gonna is this gonna land? Like, are we gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, right? Or am I
Let's do the
tripping?
maniac.
Yes. Yes.
It's only been a year and a half.
Yeah.
Us in the studio.
Oh yeah, locked in. But the original kind of sonic,
Right, the talking about it, and like when we went on tour, that's when we started talking about it, or not even talking about it, just kind of writing a song
Yeah,
together.
we just started writing. But sometimes you get that, but the songs were so good. You know, we already had a bulk of the album, and it was just maybe a couple of tunes that were taking forever trying to crack the code on. But we knew what we had, and I don't think it was ever a worry about it landing, but sometimes I'll be worried, like, damn, I hope this don't get too influenced. I don't want the chart situation. He used to go in diamond out the gate. It's always going to be lit for me, Jack.
It's all.
I come from SoundCloud.
Playing with the house's money now. Like, what the fuck is he talking
Bruno,
about?
I'm sorry, Jack. I thought it was a hit. I'm out. But listen,
I'm over here with the Weeknd.
me and Abel,
We good.
We good.
mashallah.
Is this a one of one?
Yeah.
Damn. I guess so.
Yeah, Jack.
I guess that's
Over
it.
extended as it is. Lucky you getting that.
Told you, man. He's changed.
I told he's out of here.
He's on to the next.
Outta here.
He got a little reggae group. He's working on.
Man, we're gonna do this all till the wheels fall off.
But you could though. I mean,
I'm
this
trying to talk
this
him
has
into the
now-
Christmas album. Low
We
key,
can make it.
real talk.
No, real talk. This
We act
is
now.
this is forever.
That's what I think.
This an evening with Silk Sonic. No bull. Like from here on out, when y'all go, yo, we doing 20 dates.
Yeah.
Go shopping.
Yep.
Get
your
ready.
finest- Yeah, but
Right.
yeah.
People are in the building. Like
Yes.
that's what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Bruno, you know, 24 Karat Magic, touring. You know, you've taken us to a place before, right? But this is a different place, an evening with Silk Sonic, right? Talk about this location. Like, where are we when
Man.
we're at an evening with Silk Sonic? What?
Where are we? Rooftop?
Rooftop.
We at a rooftop, but it's warm.
Okay.
It ain't cold.
It's not cold.
It's not cold.
But it's not, is it hot?
I don't know. It's you know what it is? It's hard to say. It's hard to answer this question because this is a very emotional album. We all over the place, and I think you hear that as far as that's who we are as artists and as individuals.
Right.
You know, like our minds are constantly going, and we want to give you that it's okay to get down on your knees and beg record. And then we also want to give you everybody's, get up and We're at the
skate.
barbecue. We're skating, whatever,
Skate.
right? So for us, it was just really a variety of like, how can we showcase everything we got with these 9 songs? So that's why it's like, this is a show. It's bigger than the album. It's a show. Right. You know, let's put the show together. And we were kind of attacking it like that with the tempos, subject matter, the intro to the to blast off.
Right. You know, I want to get into Skate, another phenomenal video. You know, and I kind of said it early in the conversation, but I want to reiterate it because everything about this album feels family, right? As great as the music is and everything, it's a gathering out. Like even the title, right. An Evening with Silk Sonic, it's an invitation, right? It's a come together. And then on top of that, the music, it's a celebration of music. This song Skate though, right, is something, you know, we've all, I mean, if you grew up going roller skating, you know, meeting girls, meeting guys, you know, whether you skating outside, you skating at the roller rink, whatever it is, like it's such a cultural record, right? And the way you guys executed the video, had you learned from the first video, Leave the Door Open, that, yo, we're gonna stay on these instruments. We're not gonna roller skate, but it's gonna be some roller skating happening.
Yeah.
We're providing a vibe.
Right.
Because I thought y'all was gonna be on roller skates.
Hell no.
Nah, not yet.
The way my ankles are set up is really unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, roller skating, that just, you know that's, it's hard to be mad on some roller skates. So already the subject matter, you know, like that's kind of the essence of this album of like, yo, me and Andy, if we were to host a party, if we had a skate party, what would that feel like? Right. Summertime, outside, set up the congas and the drums and the amplifiers and what would that sound like? And that was our best effort, was skate.
Now, I know you, obviously you play the drums, you play a little bit too. You've told me I've tried to really figure out, you know what I'm saying, if you guys have battled yet, but we're not gonna get into all that.
He wants no smoke, big fella.
You see, Andy, don't play me out.
You gotta know who does what.
Because there's a
lane.
set right there.
It's a lane specific, okay? And just by his structure, you know he ain't.
Every time he sees me play drums, that's what he says. I can tell.
Super Bowl,
I can tell by your structure.
Them LEDs and pyro can't help you in the studio, Jack. You want me to get in on? You want me to get in there? Ain't no pyro in here. Nah, he killing it. He's a really good percussionist too.
Thanks, Andy.
But now, you've battled before. You and Beyonce battled.
Ooh-wee.
Don't do this to me, bro. Don't do this to me. You understand? We got an album to sell.
No, it was a good time.
Yeah,
it was the best.
It was a good time.
The best thing about that was getting to just getting to see Beyonce and getting to see just you know how magical and that she's doing this for a legacy. Right. I'm over there like, yo, we about to do the Super Bowl thing and have some fun, man. We're gonna dance battle Beyonce, you know, and thinking it's like it's like, nah,
I'll die for this.
That's what
You got me.
Beyonce came to destroy you.
Yeah.
Did she say anything to you before you hit the stage?
No, we just had a great time. Like,
Yeah.
we just had a great time putting it together. But I just remember she's just, I wish, I don't want to, I want to articulate this right, bro, because she's, means a lot to me and the rest of the world. And I want to say this right. It was just amazing. And you got to understand, like, Michael Jackson was doing the same thing when you see Beyonce, and that's someone that cares. Prince, Mike, right. And it's just amazing to see that someone that cares so much about their craft and their art, and I got a chance to share the stage with her for that special moment, singing Uptown Funk, so.
Well, and, once again, to reiterate, even you articulating that and taking the care to articulate that, I think speaks volumes, right? Mm-hmm. Like, we live in this world where so much happens. There's so many headlines and this and that, and songs coming out, hundreds of songs come out every day. You know what I mean? Like, and you know, to know that people that create at the highest level of the game stop and appreciate others that create at the highest level of the game, I think is so important.
And what I'm trying to say is nobody's phoning anything in when it comes to,
Right.
you know, all right, it's showtime. Like, she's not, she's on it, rehearsing nonstop, and it only leveled us up. Oh, she's trying to kill us. Let's put these little dance moves together. She's trying to, you know, and it just made us like, it made us all hungry. And that's what I think, there's a beautiful story about Rick James and Prince. Right. That's why we got to see greatness, is because they were trying to one-up each other. Right. You know, Michael and Prince were trying to one-up each other.
Absolutely.
But this is how you get greatness, is to this competitive, oh, that's what they're doing, all right. You know, this, we got to do this, we got to do that. So it's just like in musician culture, I guess, like it was a beautiful experience. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up like that.
Well, no, and on this album, The Evening with Silk Sonic, I'm gonna just say it, whether you guys want to talk about it right now. You might want to take your fans out again. You know what I mean? And cool it off in here.
I'm cool as a cucumber,
Not
Jack.
me.
It feels like the gauntlet has been laid down.
Yeah.
With this album.
I'll let Andy handle this. Go ahead.
Yeah.
It feels like the album, for anybody that picks up an instrument on the planet Earth right now, anybody that sings, anybody that plays the drums, anybody that writes music, it feels like An Evening with Silk Sonic is y'all laying, him definitely.
I mean, it's both of us, just like you said.
Unsheathing the sword.
That's right.
Like, who want
we
what?
Ain't come to play. We ain't come to play, man. That's the scene we come from. We musicians, bro. And honestly, there ain't too many left that's really doing it like that. As far as like, no tricks, no gimmicks. We just real drums. He on the bass, he on the guitar, the piano. We working these songs out. It ain't drenched in auto-tune. Not taking nothing from anybody who uses that, but it's just like, we you know, sometimes I look around.
Ain't no crutch.
Yeah, we feel like the last one's left that's really trying to take it there. And so we gotta do it. And, you know, it's dope that we were able to still keep that energy, keep it modern, keep it fun. Like he said, go through all the different range of emotions. Like,
I don't know if y'all want to say anything to, because now your fan bases are one. I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Shout out to the Martians. All my, if I can just say this, my hooligan army. I am appreciative. And as I go into my solo career, I'm going to need the same energy. I promise you I will bring him with me. And yes, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Ladies
Our
and
Martian
gentlemen,
and hooligan family, army.
the Army is one.
Yes.
Let's go, man. An Evening with Silk Sonic, Anderson Paak, Bruno Mars. I just want to say thank you again.
Thank you, man.
Congratulations.
Thank you, bro.
I know this was hard, scary in some regard, but rewarding. And you know, that's how you know it's great, right?
Absolutely.
You took some risks.
Yeah.
You pushed boundaries. You pushed each other. You stopped smoking weed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You made sure that he stopped smoking weed.
Yeah.
He did it on his
my
own.
little angel.
He did it on his own, and it was beautiful to see. It was beautiful to see.
But to take care of your instrument.
Yeah.
Right?
That's for sure. It's hard dude to keep up with, man, in that studio sometime. And it was an honor, man. If I ain't ever tell you.
Love you, Andy.
You a bad mofo.
Silk Sonic. Can we get a round of applause for Silk Sonic, everybody?